Hello, everyone. My name is Brian Seaman. I'm the radio announcer for the Los Angeles Clippers. I want to welcome everybody here to what I think might be the biggest day in the history of the organization. As you can see, there's a lot of people here on stage. I'm going to make some introductions. We'll have some opening remarks, and then we'll open up for a Q&A afterwards. Obviously, there'll be the photo opportunities, and everybody will be available for one-on-ones. Without further ado, let me introduce first the front office, and there's some mainstays here that have really worked on this team and this organization. This hasn't happened overnight for sure. And I'd like to introduce the people here in the front row, starting with Vice President of Basketball Operations, a longtime member of the front office, Mr. Gary Sachs. Seated next to Gary, of course, it seems like we were just here a couple of weeks ago to introduce the Senior Vice President of Basketball Operations, also happens to be the head coach, Doc Rivers. And then, of course, seated next to him, President of the organization, longtime President of the organization, Andy Roser. And behind them, obviously, you're going to see some familiar faces and some new additions here for the Clippers. And in alphabetical order, we'll start at the far end. He was part of the team a year ago. Happy to have him back, lucky to have him back. Please welcome Matt Barnes. Seated next to, seated next to Matt is a bit of a homecoming here. He played his basketball collegiately here at UCLA Clippers. Lucky to have him here in the role backing up somebody else that we'll get to in just a minute. Please welcome Darren Collison. One of the newer faces here, but certainly if you have followed the league, you know what this young man can do. He's a good defender. He's a terrific three-point shooter. And also the Clippers lucky to have him. Please say hello to Jared Dudley. Last year's team was a very deep team, and minutes were scarce for a lot of players. But this young man, every time he took the floor, I thought brought his A game and did a terrific job. And again, the Clippers happy to have him back into the fold, Ryan Hollins. A couple of years ago, I think everybody was hoping and praying that this day would come, and I think Clipper Nation has rejoiced. Happy to welcome back a guy I think everybody is very, very familiar here with, Chris Paul. And last but certainly not least, another new addition. But if you have followed the league, especially over the last 3 or 4 years, you know what this young man can do on the court. Clippers overjoyed to have him out on the wing. Here's J.J. Redick. I'd like to turn the microphone over right now to the Senior Vice President of Basketball Operations, Doc Rivers, and kind of give his thoughts here on the offseason.
Well, first of all, this is a great day for all of us. I've done a lot of begging over the last week or two, and now I can do some coaching, which I'm really looking forward to. I hope this is the last day that we have multiple mics, individuals right now, and our job is to make this a great team. That's what we're here for. That's what we're in it for. So I'm going to be short and turn it over to you guys. First, I thought it was really important that we brought back some of the key guys that were here last year. That's first. Bringing Ryan back and Matt and Chris, I thought were huge for us, and we needed to do that. And then we felt like we needed to add more to the team and not take away. And we added shooting, we added toughness, we added character. The fact that we're having this press conference and all these guys are on stage tells you we're trying to build a team and a serious team, and that's what we've done.
Well, when you're a free agent, there's always going to be assumptions, or everybody, it started last year, BT, halfway through the season, everybody, what you going to do, and as I said all season long, I'd address it during the summer with my family, as I did after we lost in the playoffs, went on vacation and talked about it with my family, and this seemed to be an outstanding situation. Not only for me, because like I said, this decision affects, my kids, my wife, my brother, my parents, and everything. And from day one, the Clippers have been outstanding in everything, in every aspect. And it was an easy decision for me, and I made it. I'm here.